Welcome to this week's episode of Doing Business in Rwanda, where we focus on aviation in Africa. I'm Abiagina, and today we spotlight key deliberations at the heart of the 9th Aviation Africa Conference 2025. For 3 days, industry leaders, policymakers, and innovators from across the continent and beyond gathered to tackle the challenges and seize the opportunities in Africa's rapidly evolving aviation sector. Africa's aviation market is projected to be one of the fastest growing in the world, driven by increasing urbanization, a rising middle class, and greater intra-African trade. But significant hurdles remain, from infrastructure deficits to regulatory complexities.
The Aviation Africa Summit has been pivotal in showing how much growth Africa's aviation industry has experienced in a very short time. And with all the exhibitors and sponsors present, we also see how much more potential the aviation sector has to offer.
This year's conference, running under the theme Collaborating to Unlock Africa's Growth, How Can Africa Deliver a Sustainable Aviation Industry? It saw industry leaders explore new pathways towards addressing industry challenges head-on.
So safety has been very key in terms of the discussion that we'll be having. But second and tied to safety is also this, the sustainability of our operations, especially from an economic point of view. We've been talking about how we can facilitate the growth and development of African airlines to make sure that we also begin to play a role globally. A statistic that we've been sharing with people is that Africa contributes almost 20% of the global population, and yet we only contribute 2% of global aviation traffic. We need to make sure that we improve that performance. And how do we do that? That brings us to the next thing that we've been talking about extensively. That is one of the flagship projects of the African Union, is the Single Africa Air Transport Market, which is an instrument that was put together by our heads of state to make sure that we fast-track the implementation of the Yamoussoukro decision. 3 things come from SATAM. The one is to improve intra-Africa connectivity. The second thing is to reduce the cost of operation for our airlines on the African continent. The airlines themselves need to find a way of growing without the costs crippling them. The third and most important is to reduce the costs of flights for our passengers so that we can stimulate more traffic. And we all agree that there is a catalytic effect of aviation in any economy. The better aviation performs, the better the economies perform.
While key topics at the conference included infrastructure development, financing aviation projects, air traffic management, and enhancing safety and security, various speakers emphasized the need for strategic investment and policy reforms to unlock the sector's full potential.
We've got a big captive market, which is well represented in here, which is in the West Africa region. We've been managing to also sort of reiterate and reinvent some of our old existing relationships with our old clients. But more importantly for us, we've been able to revive the collaboration with other MROs that are in the space in terms of growth opportunities, new systems, new ways of doing things, and market sharing. I think that's what this conference has presented to us. But a lot of new development that we appreciate that helps us to sort of plan through our pipeline as we're going, because we want to grow with our growing partners and our growing clients. And I think everyone would probably tell you the good turn-up has been the major thing, the willingness to engage, and the vulnerability of every party that has been here in terms of exposing their challenges and also exposing the opportunities that they're willing to take care of.
Rwanda is positioned to ensure that we you know, in the demand, the incoming demand, the opportunities that are there, are inherent in all of these discussions. We are positioned to ensure that, you know, we're able to take advantage of them, and we need to be there to be able to achieve that. So what we are doing now, we are actually venturing into acquisition of more aircraft. So we have more equipment now coming in. So far, we've had a couple of them already. And in the coming days, we're also going to have more even coming. We have we've also deepened our operation such that you know, frequencies that used to be like 2 or 3 times weekly, we now run daily. Nigeria is an example. These are the kind of things we are going to do. So in the coming days, we are going to open up Africa, open up more destinations. So we hope to fly into more destinations, or you know, have more equipment on board, and then reach out to other segments. Okay. So these are the kind of things we are also planning. Those who never thought that, you know, traveling from point A to point B will be this seamless, you know, they are experiencing it now. They are seeing it, and in the coming days we're going to offer even more. Not just the connectivity, but also try to make it affordable.
Technology and innovation were also major themes, with companies showcasing the latest solutions for improving efficiency, enhancing passenger experience, and reducing environmental impact.
It's for me the second time to be here in Rwanda at this show, and yeah, we see a lot of potential. So I'm from Diamond Aircraft, an aircraft manufacturer based in Austria. We are providing actually the full package of aircraft, starting from the trainer aircraft, single engine piston aircraft, up to multi-engine piston aircraft, and then also in the next phase special mission aircraft for any kind of special mission required by air forces or polices or whatever, for border patrol, search and rescue, typical ISR missions, including camera, sensors, radars, etc. And yeah, we are showcasing here together with our partner in Rwanda, Aviation. They are already using our aircraft for flight training. And yeah, very successful operation, and we see a lot of potential for future business here. Yeah, it's rapidly growing, and also surrounding countries or from other continents sending their students here because of the conditions, the perfect flying conditions, especially for flight training, low costs of operation, etc. So I guess it's a good future here. Yeah.
We have a large rotable pool of various aircraft types, both on the regional as well as in the corporate aircraft segments. We have 6 warehouses around the world. I have 11 sales teams scattered around the world. And about 3 years ago, we decided that we had been doing a lot of business in Africa, but really felt that this was a really growing market for us. And so we went ahead and hired a sales team in Johannesburg, and earlier in the year opened up a warehouse to support the operators and the MROs here in Africa. Well, ever since COVID, supply chain's been a real problem in the industry, not only here in Africa, but everywhere around the world. And so, which makes it even more important to have a local warehouse on the continent, which we decided to do.
The Aviation Africa conference also served as a catalyst for new business deals and partnerships. Chinese drone taxi firm Ehang dazzled the delegates by showcasing the world's first pilotless drone taxi. The company hopes to strike more deals and partnerships in Africa.
We established in Guangdong, China, and we have established 10 years for the drone technologies, and as you can see, this drone is fully automatic without any control button in the aircraft, and also it's the first pilotless passenger drone in the world, and also we are the first and the only one obtain the operation certification from the China CAA. So it's the only drone that's allowed to put in the operation, and right now in China, we're already operating in several places for air taxi business, flying for 2 weeks. And yesterday, we did a demonstrate flight for the president. And I think he likes our aircraft and he likes the flight show. So I think we did a good job here.
The Aviation Africa conference did highlight the immense potential of the African aviation market, but success will depend on continued collaboration between governments, airlines, and the private sector to address the challenges and create a conducive environment for growth, as underscored by Rwanda's President Paul Kagame.
With a growing middle class and increasing tourism, the demand for air travel will only get stronger. The numbers speak for themselves. In the coming years, passenger traffic on our continent is expected to double. At the continental level, efforts have been made to open our skies through initiatives such as the Single Air Africa Air Transport Market. The African Continental Free Trade Area is also a key enabler of prosperity. Rwanda continues to play its part by putting in place conducive regulations and policies, and we encourage others to do the same. For example, we have removed visa restrictions for all African citizens. Empowering women and girls to pursue careers in the aviation industry must also be our priority.
Globally, airlines are projecting or forecasting to make close to $36 billion profit. When we bring it down to regions, the European region is going to also make a substantive profit. When we bring it even further down to profit per passenger, the US is going to make close to $6 per passenger. Middle East is going to make close to $16 per passenger. In Africa, we are going to make just under $1 per passenger. That shows you that even the number of African airlines that are going to be profitable at a net profit level is very, very low. You can count them on the fingers of one hand. Africans must be able to travel within Africa without any restrictions. Right now, as we speak today, only 6 African countries offer Africans visa-free travel to those countries. Only 6 out of 55 countries. We are saying to our African governments and heads of states, please wake up and make sure that you see how you are crippling us. Allow Africans to travel within Africa. We are a population of 1.4 billion people on the continent. If only 10% of 1.4 billion people start traveling freely, every airline will have more than enough passengers.
Well, that brings us to the end of this week's Doing Business in Rwanda. While Africa continues to make tremendous leaps in expanding its fleet and training more skilled personnel to serve in the aviation industry, leaders, policymakers, innovators, and regulators, as well as aircraft manufacturers, must now turn their attention on addressing the challenges around infrastructure, cost of flying, and easing air travel on the continent to build a stronger, more dynamic, and sustainable aviation sector across the continent. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now. My name is Abi Agina. Until next time, see you later.